Okay, full disclosure, this was gonna be something I talked about on stream. Because after I initially streamed Avowed, I did say this. Who says we pick this back up tomorrow? We'll have maybe do another day. See if we can get a bit further into it. And so my plan was going to be to talk about all this when I did that. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've learned, the more I've thought, nah, this needs to be a video actually. So once I finished streaming the other day, something happened that put the willies in me almost immediately. I ended the stream, and almost right away after ending it, I got a big warning on my computer about CPU temperature. CPU temperature was too hot, and I'd shut my computer down. I did the only thing that seemed sensible at the time, and I left it off. I opened this door that I've got near me, and I let some cool air in, and it was all fine. The computer was absolutely fine. It might sound sad to some of you, but my computer is my lifeline, and the last time I lost my computer was a power supply issue. That's been fixed, touch all of the wood in the world, but I don't want to lose my computer again. And so, in truth, once I thought about it, I realized I probably can boil it down to Avowed as to why that happened. Throughout the entirety of our playthrough, the game stuttered like a mother. It really did.
Good for finding your way around.
It is really stuttering. I wonder if, do you know what? I wonder if it's because we're in first person. That sounds crazy, I know. Let's go back to third person and see if it stops. That's the only thing I can think of that's changed outside of a different location. Something's going wrong. No, it's still stuttering.
I don't trifle with souls.
This game is...
They're tearing my home apart.
Hang on. Someone's not good here. Let's turn some graphics down for fuck's sake. This is grim. I don't think it was my computer in general. I think my computer can run Avowed fine, supposedly. I've ran and streamed plenty of the games with no issues. And yet, I stream Avowed and the game is just chugging along. I even reduced graphics settings throughout the stream, turned on DLSS. I was doing everything I could to give the game a chance to not be a stuttering mess, but it just kept doing it all the way through the game. And I had one hard crash as well. A reward will be offered. Oh no! Guys, I don't know if you can see this. My game has crashed. Yeah, I mean, the game has crashed. It's totally crashed. I can't close it. It won't let me do anything. It's totally frozen it. By the end of it, it's just like, all I can think of is Avowed was, whatever it was that was going wrong, Avowed was stressing my computer out to the point that I got a temperature warning. Like, literally, as I ended the stream. I shudder to think what would have happened had I streamed for another hour. I don't know. My plan was to stream it one more time, definitely. But, God, we got into it, like, as I was playing it, I was talking to chat and myself and that were looking at the game, and to be honest with you, like, what became apparent was that the game is alright. It's definitely, like, the dialogue, for me, was definitely better than something like The Outer Worlds. In my opinion, it was a bit over-wordy. They could have used an editor. They could have used someone to trim it, which is a bit ironic coming from me, I guess. But it could have done with another rewrite, I think. Like, some of the dialogue was just a bit much, and it's not that great. But another thing that came up while I was streaming it was none of us really cared about the story. None of us really cared about the characters or the world. And it all just fell a bit flat. Now, initially I thought maybe that's because we're streaming it and you can't get into it. But one thing I didn't know at the time, and this is on me, by the way, like, I should have been a bit better informed, but one thing I didn't know until after I'd streamed it, and I bet you there's a lot of people who don't know this as well, Avowed is not a standalone. It's a part of the Pillars of Eternity universe. I didn't know that. So it now makes sense that these isometric games that came before, they would have laid a lot of the groundwork for the world. And now you go into Avowed, and the game kind of in a way relies on you, I think, knowing at least some of that. I've never played either of them. So a lot of people who I think going to be going into Avowed not caring about the story or the world, really, because they didn't know that you needed to be playing 2 other games before it, or at least having knowledge of them. So, having heard that now, my interest in Avowed is dead. It's gone. Even if the dialogue is better than Outer Worlds, at least Outer Worlds was a standalone thing that I could try and get into. But with Avowed, I now feel like, oh, I need to play these other games. I just couldn't get into the characters or the world or anything. I don't feel like Avowed is an awful game. Some people are really, really going at it. I don't think it's an awful game. I think if they could actually fix some of the issues with the PC port, I don't know if the consoles are having the same issues, but I know that there was corrupted save file issues and stuff as well. So if they could fix some of those issues, I think it would be a dreaded 7 out of 10. It's a very mediocre game, I think. Maybe it's even a 6. It's not offensively bad. It's not awful. But it's not anything great either. In fact, it's probably the worst thing that a game could be. It's just a bit drab. So, I am sorry if you were hoping that I was going to stream Avowed again. I would rather my PC does not go boom. Ooh, I'm going to stream some other stuff. As for Avowed, I'm going to uninstall it probably. Ah dear. Sorry Microsoft. It's another one that's gone wrong.